محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا وفقها في الدين يا رب العالمين وألحقنا بعبادك الصالحين. يقول الله عز وجل: يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إلى آخر الآية. Here we as humans, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us, gave us certain duties on this earth that we must fulfill as Muslims, as humans, not just as Muslims, as humans on earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us Khalifa upon the earth. We're like caretakers, we're like guardians of the earth. We mustn't destroy it, rather we must use it and make it suitable for us. Unfortunately, what's going on now is the complete opposite. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس. Because of what we have done, the consequences we are seeing now upon the sea as well as upon the land. The stuff that's going on in Palestine is in 100 years ago, 200 years ago, a person will not be able to believe with his eyes. Now we are seeing it on live television. It's destroyed our empathy, our sympathy, our compassion, because it's constantly being showed on our screens non-stop. Children with their limbs off, fathers, mothers getting killed brutally, many of the body parts being splattered everywhere. All of these things have an effect on the psychology of a Muslim. Even non-Muslims, they are standing up everywhere, all around the world. And they have been standing up with the Muslims. We as Muslims, if we don't unite, there's so many severe problems within our communities. We as Muslims, if we don't plan to unite, because end of the day, our deen is one. Our deen is La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. If there is no unity, they can eat you up just like a fox or a wolf comes and eats a whole sheep from a whole flock, when the whole flock can't do anything. Likewise, this is their way. When you don't defend Gaza, they will continuously take over Lebanon. They'll take over Syria. They'll take over Egypt. They'll take over Jordan. They'll take over one after the other, because you're like sheep to them. You don't want to fight back. You don't want to be together and to fight back together. But if you stayed together, then this attack wouldn't take place. Okay? Inshallah, let's come back to our topic of keeping the masjid clean and perfumed. Sometimes you go inside the masjid and unfortunately you're not able to pray because of the smell, because of the stench that comes out of the carpet. Okay? This is the responsibility of every single individual. It's not just the responsibility of the caretaker. This is not just the responsibility of the caretaker or the muadhin or whoever is appointed just for that role. His job is there to do the hoovering. His job is there to do everything he can within his ability. If he is slacking, then maybe he must be taken to the authorities. But it doesn't mean that we don't do our part. We must try to keep our masjids clean, whether it's providing ourselves, calling a carpet cleaner to come over. It's only going to cost what, 100, 200 pounds? It doesn't cost that much. He's going to come and he's going to come and clean the whole masjid for you. He's going to come and take out all the dirt from the carpet, and it's going to be smelling nice with the shampoo. And everyone will be able to pray. Everyone will make dua. Their hearts will make dua. Even though they'll not be able to make dua physically, their hearts will be making dua every single time they go into sajda, because they can smell the beautiful aroma that comes out of the carpet, not the stench of people's feet. Okay? So, a person must invest in these things. These things are the things which get you Jannah, right? The small things are the things that get you Jannah. Khair, inshallah. So, keeping the masjid clean and perfumed, there's a couple of hadiths here, and then we go on to the etiquettes of the masjid, especially regarding spittle in the masjid. Because back in the days, masjids were made of mud. Back in the days, masjids were made of mud, clay, sand, all those things. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه أن امرأة سوداء كانت تقم المسجد ففقدها رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فسأل عنها بعد أيام فقيل له إنها ماتت فقال فهلا آذنتموني فأتى قبرها فصلى عليها. رواه البخاري ومسلم وابن ماجه بإسناد صحيح واللفظ له وابن خزيمة في صحيحه. خير. I think we done the previous hadith. عن أبي ذر رضي الله تعالى عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من بنى لله مسجدا قدر مفحص قطات بنى الله له بيتا في الجنة. رواه البزار واللفظ له والطبراني في الصغير وابن حبان في صحيحه. In this hadith previously, Abu Dharr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, whoever builds a masjid, even a tiny masjid the size of even a bird's nest, imagine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will build for him a house in paradise, in Jannah. So again, this is to motivate everyone to have a masjid, and we're going to go through it inshallah in the next couple of hadiths, that a masjid must be in every single person's community, locality, neighborhood. Everyone's locality, everyone's neighborhood, you must build a masjid if there is no masjid. Because your children have to be brought up upon deen. If your children are not brought up upon deen, they will lose deen. Especially in these countries, they will lose deen. Because of the type of education that they give, because of the type of brainwashing that they do in school, unfortunately, your child will automatically, even though he thinks he's a Muslim, his parents are Muslim, his dada is Muslim, his nana is Muslim, his khalas are Muslim, his hufus are Muslims, he claims to be Muslim, but his ideas are otherwise. His ideas are totally against religion. That's why, because a lot of children in our community did not get the proper Islamic education, they are girls especially. Unfortunately, people don't focus on girls. Girls are the community hub of your whole community. If you don't educate your girls, you will have the next generation become murtad. Murtad meaning going out of the fold of Islam without even knowing it. They think they're Muslims, but their ideas are totally against Islam and Muslims in totality. They think. A lot of people may think they're Muslims, but because you haven't studied Islam, because you haven't studied what makes you a Muslim and what distinguishes your Aqidah from the Aqidah of the non-Muslims, it takes you out of the fold of Islam. It can take you, certain things can take you out of the fold of Islam without you even knowing. That's why studying Aqidah, studying Hadith, studying Tafsir is so important that it cannot be emphasized anymore. Unfortunately, many people in our age, they didn't have that opportunity. That opportunity wasn't there. We just had certain mullahs coming up with bet, beating us up in maktab class. That's not how madrasa is meant to be. That's not how madrasa is meant to be. Now, alhamdulillah, we've got a complete different system of education in maktabs. Our maktabs are wonderful. Most of the maktabs, mashallah, are great, doing great. They have English-speaking imams. They have English-speaking ulama, alims, muftis, and hafizis, and qaris. They're teaching your children religion because of the education system in school that's brainwashing your child 24/7 to think otherwise, to go out of the framework of Islam, to think out of the bubble. They want to pop the bubble. That's what they say. They want to pop the bubble of Islam. Popping the bubble of Islam of your child is danger for you. Sometimes it's good to be in your own bubble, to protect your own bubble, to protect your own family, to protect your own relatives, to protect your own neighbors. But nowadays, it's not the case. That's not the case anymore. We're not together like tribes anymore. We don't care about our Sasa Gorobai. We don't care about our Mama Gorobai. We don't care about our Hufur Gorobai. We don't care about our Khala Gorobai. That's the time and zamana we're living in. So if you yourself don't take the initiative to go out and study deen for what deen is and not culture, although culture has their goods, I'm not denying it, but if you don't study the deen, then for your aqidah to go out of line is going to be very easy. Because of the education systems, they've made it such that they brainwash your children to go out of the framework of Islam, to question certain things which are unquestionable. You understand? These things will automatically take them out of the fold of Islam without them knowing. They will think for the rest of their life, I'm a Muslim. I'm a good Muslim. Alhamdulillah, I pray, I do everything. I've been Hajj and I've been Umrah with my dad, with my Sasa, with my granddad. It doesn't do anything. If your Aqidah isn't correct, and you've got certain tendencies which go above and beyond the Sharia, within the confines of Sharia, you go above and beyond, and you transgress the limits, automatically you're not a Muslim anymore. You can claim to be a Muslim and you can die as a Muslim, everyone thinking that you're a Muslim, you're not a Muslim. This is the danger. This is why we say, Allah, give us husnul khatima, give us death upon la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. We say this all the time in our du'as. Why? Because of this. Because of this reason, a person might be living a whole life because he's not knowledgeable, because he didn't try to study that one book of 5 pages, Aqidah Tahawiyah or something, just to get his basic beliefs right. But because he didn't study that 5 pages, for the rest of his life, he's in jahalat. For the rest of his life, he doesn't know what he's going to die upon. Because he can't distinguish between what the traits, what the qualities of a Muslim are and what the qualities of a non-Muslim are. If a person cannot differentiate between the qualities of a Muslim, the beliefs of a Muslim and the beliefs of a non-Muslim, how could you call him a Muslim? You can't call him a Muslim. This is the situation that we're living in. The West is doing this to us automatically without you knowing. So if you don't focus your children to go to maktab classes, if you don't focus your children to go to these Islamic courses, then what's going to happen is the next generation, they're automatically going to go out of the fold of Islam. It's going to be very easy for them to just move away because they're focused in normal academic studies, secular studies. They want to do the GCSE, they have to do their A-levels, they have to do their degree. If they don't, then they're going to become losers in dunya. That's the way everyone is feeding their children. And we have to, because they need a living in this dunya. They need a comfortable living, inshallah. But are you going to sacrifice that comfortable living of giving your children and your girls and your boys into university and sacrifice your whole deen? Is it worth it? It's not worth it. Your akhirah, to give up your akhirah for some benefit of dunya just because he's going to become a minister if he studies in politics and blah, 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 that doesn't mean anything. Even if he does become Lutfur Rahman, and what? And what? Yeah, he can help some of the community, yes. But if it requires for you to lie, cheat, deceive, and do everything to get into that post, what's the point, bhai? You've taken down all your principles of religion just to get to a post. Just to become Sadiqur Rahman, to go and worship inside the temple. It's just like the Hindus are worshipping, you want to go and worship. What deen have you got left? What type of a Muslim are you? Liberal Muslim, modernist Muslim, isn't it? This is the type of people that we want to become. Astaghfirullah, this is not Islam. This is kufr, this is shirk. You know, sometimes we don't like to mention these things. Okay? We don't like to mention these things. But the thing is, we have to. We have to make people aware that they have to wake up from this sleep that they're in. They continuously think, we can do whatever we like. We can go inside the church and pray and do whatever we want. That's not how deen works, bhai. That's not how deen works. Okay? There's certain conditions. If you go according to those conditions, then fine. Khair. So here, even if you build a small masjid, here Abu Dharr radiallahu anhu, he reports from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the size of a nest, small bird's nest. Why? Why is the reward of building a masjid so much? All the du'as that we done for the adhan, for the dua between adhan and iqama, for the sajda, for the ruku, for the coming to the masjid, all of those thawab for every single individual that comes to that masjid, you're going to be rewarded inside your qabr. You understand? All the rewards that we talk about on a weekly basis, all the rewards related to the masjid or anything towards the masjid, everyone that goes to that masjid, that prays in that masjid, that preaches in that masjid, that makes tasbih inside the masjid, that makes wudu inside that masjid, that cleans that masjid, everyone involved in that masjid, every single reward that they're getting because of you. You are the one that set up the masjid in that neighborhood. So therefore, it is only that you get the reward. Okay? Khair. So therefore, the reward of building a masjid is far greater than just, yes, of course, here Rasulullah has given us targheeb in regards to the akhirah. In the akhirah, after you close your eyes, inshallah, you're going to get a house in Jannah, a palace in Jannah. But in this dunya, think about the multiplications of reward. The taraweeh, the du'as, every single day, anything that takes place inside the masjid, you're going to be rewarded for. Maktab, all the children that are going to become human beings, inshallah, good religious human beings, you're going to get the reward of all those children as well. So this is why the maktab system is our heart of our community. Without the maktab, our whole society will crumble. Our whole society will crumble. This is why you see those parents that don't focus with their children to go and give them to maktab, their family and their Islam goes away. Their family and the Islam completely goes away from themselves. If you yourself can't give your children to the maktab and you can go and give them 9 to 3:30 is not a problem. 8:40 you're there at the door of the school. 3:15 you're there before 3:15, 3 o'clock you're there at the gate of the school. But when it comes to maktab, 15 minutes late, half an hour late. Oh, eyes da out for gese. What type of mentality is this? This is disgusting. The way you treat Islam and the way you treat secular studies, just because you're going to get a £50 fine on your door, doesn't mean you become relaxed when it comes to the religious education of a child. Religious education of a child is more important. And you should show importance so the child grows up to see that, oh, my parents take deen very seriously. It's not a joke. Deen is not a joke. Just like school is not a joke, deen is not a joke. Both are important. But us as Muslims, our deen is more important than school. We know that. So why don't we pay more attention for our children to the maktabs? Saturday, Sunday is a joke. Alhamdulillah, those parents that can't do it, then khair, something better than nothing. But Saturday, Sunday is still a joke. Day in, day out, 5 days of what about the 5 days of the week? That child, whether boy or girl, is going in for how many hours? 6 hours, 7 hours to school, sometimes 8 hours. They got after school classes, they got booster classes, they got this class, that class, karate classes, martial arts. You can give them to all of that stuff, but you can't give them to 5 to 7. Why? Why this slacking in Islamic education? This is my child's future. If you don't give this, that child is not going to grow in deen. It takes time for a child to digest. Just like you didn't wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to become the imam of the time now. I'm going to pray 5 times a day. I'm going to do everything correctly now. That's not how it works. Islam, it's like a seed. It grows slowly into a tree with fruits. That's how Islam is. It's a slow process. Even to become an alim, it's a slow process. It's not quick. The faster you do it, go and do those booster classes, 1 month. 1 month, dawra they call it, in summer. You go and study for 4 weeks. You study usul al-fiqh, usul al-hadith, ulum al-Quran, hadith, and then tafsir or something, and aqidah. You do like a whole jam-packed course in 1 month. Just like you studied it in 1 month, it's going to go in 1 month as well. Understand? The deen doesn't work like that. Deen is like a seed. Deen is like a seed. You put it inside the soil. Slowly, it grows in your heart. And then it grows into a plant, it grows into a tree, it gives leaves, and then it gives fruits. But the time it gives fruits, you're old. This is where the true fruits of Islam, deen, comes out of you. The true face of deen comes out of you, of who you are, truly. So we're still growing. Everyone is still growing in our path in deen. So deen must be embedded from a small age, especially maktab. Maktab is the heart of our community. If you don't focus on the maktab of your children, deen will go away. Deen will literally go away from our families and our relatives and everyone. We can already see many of the families, that the fathers and mothers that were too secular and too focused on becoming a lawyer, becoming a whatever, engineer, becoming a pilot. Deen is gone from those families. We see it within our own families. We know for sure those children are nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen in the masjid. Bengali, Muslim, from Muslim parents. Nana, nani, dada, dadi were Muslim. Even mom and dad, they claim to be Muslim. They claim to be Muslim. What part of Islam have they got left? Not even like a Christian, they come to Friday Salas anymore. Even Christians, they go on Sundays, isn't it? Yeah? Even that is gone. Leave alone 5 times Salah, even that is gone. So what's left? Your children, nothing. More than you. It becomes worse. The more the generations go, it's going to get worse. So is that the type of legacy that you want to leave behind? The whole point of you becoming a Muslim, the whole point of you being a Muslim is to save your progeny that's coming after you. If you can't save your offspring from the fire, qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. First, just save yourselves and save your family. From what? From the fire of Jahannam. How are you going to do that? You're going to keep them upon deen. You're going to keep them upon Islam. You're going to feed them iman every single day, not once a week. Once a week is not enough. Twice a week is not enough. Saturday, Sunday class is not enough. Monday to Friday. Parents have to try to go and give their children on time, punctually, Monday to Friday, 5 to 7, minimum. This is the bare minimum we can do for our children. If we don't do this, then we haven't fulfilled our criteria. One of the haqq of the children is Islamic education, Quranic education. We haven't fulfilled that haqq. So when they become something else in dunya, we can't complain except ourselves. And then another thing is, in maktab, whilst they're in maktab, when they go to year 9 and year 10, we want to leave the maktab. Why? You know how important it is to be inside the maktab system at the age of 14, 15, and 16. I taught 14, 15, and 16. That's why I know. Okay? I taught for over 3 years. The impact that you have on a child's life during those 3 years, 13, 14, 15, and 16, those 3-4 years, the impact that you have on that child's life, it lives for the rest of his life. Wallah, I've seen that in reality. 2 students I went and met in Dewsbury. I didn't know they were my students. I forgot. I didn't even know their faces. They were children when they came to me, when I was teaching them. This is some time back, over 10 years, 11 years back. I met them in Dewsbury. Both of them, mashallah, in imama. They got beards, full beards, imama and tube and everything. I didn't recognize. They came to me, Ustad, assalamu alaikum. Do you recognize us? My name is this and this and this. I was shocked out of my brains. They came and hugged me. They're like, Ustad, what you put inside our hearts from that age, we are reaping the benefits now. We are this type of Muslims because of you. Wallahi, there's nothing in the world that you can give me £1 million, I won't be that happy. The happiness that I got, the joy that I got that day, I'll never be that happy ever. Even if you give me £1 million, I wouldn't be that happy. Wallah, I wouldn't be that happy. Because that seed that you planted in that teenager, it stays for the rest of his life. That love, that mahabba that you created in that child, regarding deen, regarding Allah, regarding Rasulullah, he will never forget. University can try to change him all his life, he can't. University can't penetrate this person. This person's become bulletproof, deen proof. You can't take him out of deen anymore. This is why this age, 13, 14, 15, 16, no matter what they're doing, they can be doing GCSEs, they can be doing A-levels, I don't care. Put them in Islamic education. Otherwise, their deen will go, because this is the time that they strip the deen out of your children, especially girls. Especially girls. They strip it off. In GCSEs, the stuff that they teach in religious studies, I've seen it. I've seen the questions. They make you question your deen. A-levels is worse. 10 times worse. The type of philosophy, the type of logic, the type of stuff that they teach, theology, takes you out of the fold of Islam. If you're not a Muslim and a Muslim teacher is not teaching properly and he knows what he's talking about, it'll take you out of the fold of Islam. It'll take you out of the fold of Islam, I'm telling you now. And it has. It's taken Hufaz. Maulana Shamsul Duha, one of our ustads in Ibrahim College, he said the same thing. We have Hufaz in universities that are atheists and agnostics. Hufaz. Do you understand Hufaz? People that can lead Taraweeh for the whole month. Quran from the Bismillah, from Surah Fatiha to Surah Nas, all the way, whole 30 chapters. Are atheists and agnostics because of the education system. This is why I'm saying the importance of the maktab can never be underweighed, especially during that age. The age of 13, 14, 15, 16, do not take your daughter or your son out of maktab classes during that age. That's the pinnacle age of a child's life. He's still making up in his mind of who he is, of what he is, of how he's gonna become throughout his life, what his ideas will be for the rest of his life. This is his main point of his life. Okay, don't neglect this age. This age, they must be in Islamic education without choice, without any choice. They have to learn Islamic education. If they don't, you're asking for a very hard thing. For you to be on deen and for your children to be on deen, you're asking for a very hard ask. Let's stop there, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu.